Hi everyone. Now in this new video we'll talk about not just one, couple of important marketing concepts which are important for your MBA interview. So while you're preparing for the CAT and the other management examination, it's also important for you to know to get to know about the technical and the managerial know-hows about the specialization which you'll be planning. So this series of videos is going to be specifically made with respect to the specialization planning which you are thinking of for the MBA, either in IIM or any other top other colleges. We'll discuss about this certain. We'll also discuss about certain questions which are primarily asked in the MBA interviews, which is like the pre-MBA interviews, which is going to happen once you write the CAT examination and when you go for the GDPI or the WATP round. The most formal question and the first important question for people who are not coming with management or marketing background is to tell the difference between marketing and sales. Many of us have a common perception that sales and marketing is same. No doubt, on the superficial level, it is same. The core objective of both the domains, whether it is sales or the marketing, is to increase the total revenue of the brand. But though the objectives are same, but here the key things that the marketing professional will do and what a sales professional will do would be totally different thing. The concepts are different. Talking about sales, it's purely going to be a push concept, which means once the product is already in place, this salesperson, whether it is an area manager, regional manager, or the national sales manager, will work with retailers, stockists, or distributors, or directly with the customers to talk about the brand what they have launched into the market to bring confidence in the product. They will work around incentives. They will work around discounts and pricing of different geographies and for different customers to ensure that the product is pushed into the market. It's purely the push that you can give it to the brand is going to be called as sales. Marketing on the other side is going to be a little bit more lucrative and fancy at the same time. It's basically a pull concept, which means you have to bring the awareness into the customer about that your brand is also existing in the market along with the other competitor products also. Okay, so you do a lot of competitive analysis with respect to what are the features of other brands which are available for the same product, and then you talk about your USPs. What are the core features of your brand? You talk about the brand endorsement, where possibly a leading person who is going to endorse a brand will come on board, and people who are influencers can also be used to make sure that the reach, which is a brand awareness, is at the apex. People who know your brand will eventually get the brand also via sales. So the core objective of marketing is brand awareness. The core objective of sales is just to push the uh, product into the market. The understanding the perception of the customer, understanding the need of the customer, understanding what price segments you have to launch your product in is the terms what marketing professional will be handling. On the other side, sales is going to be pure on the job profile or on the purely on the road profile where technically you'll be working with retailers, stockists, distributors, and the customers to understand the pain points and then to sell the product there and there itself. So that's the basic difference between sales and marketing. I hope this is clear. Moving on. Now the second, all of you possibly who are looking forward for making their career either into sales or marketing will be more influenced by the marketing profile or let's say the core marketing profile where possibly you think you will be working in a fancy headquarter in various marketing campaigns for the brand um, awareness uh, concepts. Yes, you would be, but you should know what you will be working on, what kind of questions you will be dealing with when you actually go for these kind of colleges selection rounds. The second important question that they will ask you is about simple questions on 4 P's of marketing. And possibly you can also ask you the simple question, which is about who is the father of marketing. People who do not know, Philip Kotler, who wrote the Principles of Marketing book, is considered to be the father of marketing at the same time. I remember one of the students of MBAP who was asked one of the question in the MBA interview round when his hobby was or passion was following football. So the kind and his inclination towards specialization which he wanted to choose was towards marketing. So the kind of question which they asked him was the first question was so for which team Philip Kotler actually played football for? If you do not know Philip Kotler, then possibly you will disassociate and you will think that he is going to be a football player. But no, it is not the case. He is the god for marketing principles. So the four important principles of marketing would be product, price, place, and promotion, where you talk about the brand, services, and packaging for the product. All the important features and USP is going to be uh, there's the well-defined thought process which is going to be given with respect to understanding the competitive landscape, and then you work on defining what the product is all about or what the brand is all about. Second is pricing. Once you have made the product, you understand for which price segment you want to launch this product in. That is your customer segmentation. Depending on the kind of targeted market that you will be working on, you then work on the types of pricing. You possibly will have a lot of discounts, offer prices, or credit policy also, where possibly you take the brand or the product and pay after once you experience it. There are a lot of types of pricing we should be aware of. Next is your promotion strategy. The most important of all the four would be your promotion strategy. How would you advertise your brand? And last is your place. What sort of channel distribution do you think would be applicable for the product which you have launched? Is it a product or is it a service? Or is it a FMCG product or is it the IT enabled service? Whatever it is, whatever product you're launching, depending on the customer base which you have got, you will have different promotional and play strategy. It is the thought process given by the management whether you want to launch the product purely into e-commerce segment, let's say on Amazon or Flipkart, or you want to work on with the brick and mortar business segment also, where you would have to have this product with various stockists, retailers, and distributors also. Even if you're going with distributors, whether you'll be working with all the distributors or retailers, or very premium category of distributors you'll be working with. What sort of geography do you want this product to be launched first? All these things will be a matter of concern when you talk about the four P's of marketing. Next is product life cycle. Product life cycle is also going to be important because you have to understand how the product would behave. This is a common cycle for all the brands. When you launch a brand, possibly once you launch a brand, your sales is all time low. Plus, you'll be having your financial losses because a lot of promotional cost is going to be involved. Post then, once people start accepting it, the early adapters and innovators are taking a product, then you see the product actually goes towards the growth phase, where you see incremental revenue sales is going to go up, your promotional cost is actually going down. The number of competitors you are competing with is also going to go up. After growth, then the most important phase comes, which is a maturity phase. At maturity, possibly you have to understand that the sales is getting stagnant. It's not getting declining, it's stagnating. Possibly you're not able to increase the customer base, or possibly it's not the people or the customers are not even refilling your product, right? So it is becoming a very stable environment, but you have to understand post the maturity phase, it's going to be a decline phase. You have to be ready with that. So your forecast with respect to the decline in sales, or possibly your pricing strategy, which you will have to change, will come into picture. So you need to know what kind of strategies will you implement when a product is into the launch phase, product phase, growth phase, maturity phase, and the decline phase. Last not the least, on the higher side, they may ask you the questions which are based on the strategic marketing, which is segmentation, targeting, and positioning. If you have 1,000 customers, not all the 1,000 customers will be entertained at the same time. You have various segments of customers depending on the psychographic variables, demographic variables, or geographic variables. You segment them. Okay, out of 1,000, I'm going to first focus on this creamy layer of customers which can absorb the cost, which I'm charging. Of various segments, then you have one niche targeted segment. Okay, I'm going to work only with this kind of population base, where the income group is this, the education background is this, the cultural diversity is this, which is going to absorb the product which you're thinking of. That's my targeted base. Post targeting, then is the positioning. How do you want your product to be perceived by the customer? So whether it is a USP or the feature or the kind of brand that you think your product should have the recognition for, with respect to the product USPs and the price, you then on the basis of S, T, and P, which is segmentation, targeting, and positioning, then you will work on the distribution and the promotion strategy. This is the very first thing that the people will do before they actually come to the forecast of the revenue of the brand. Clear? So these are the common important terms and the concept which you should be aware of before you go for the MBA interviews. Right from now, till you write a CAT exam or after you write a CAT examination lodge, or possibly make yourself aware of these terms and concepts, which is going to be useful for the MBA preparation. Thank you.